I like to do a top-down explanation. So here is your shut-off valve. Now this just shuts off the cold water supply to the hot water tank. So the only thing that shuts off is the hot water side to the fixtures in your house. That's it, just the hot water. So the only time we really need to be messing with this valve right here is if you're just trying to turn off the hot water tank to replace it or drain it or flush it. Other than that, your whole house valve is where you showed me in the garage. So this is called a gate valve in lieu of a quarter turn valve. This is a gate valve, so it's a lot of cranks. It's like 12 quarter cranks to the right, righty tighty, so righty closey, lefty opening type of thing. Yours is missing a handle here, but it's fine. I have it in all the way on position, so let's go all the way on, so that's all the way to the left, and then back a little bit. That's what I was telling you about it not sticking, because if you go all the way to the left and leave it, and it's like that for the next 10 years, that's going to be a really sticky valve when you go to operate it next time.
Same with the one in the garage?
Yeah, same with the one with the garage. Yep. Okay, brand new stainless steel flex connectors in lieu of the old days was the copper ones. These stainless steel ones have a lot more flex to it, a lot more give to it. Really nice to work with. These are 24 inches long. This allowed us to go back. Those copper ones a lot of times, because they're copper, trying to preserve on money, are only like 12 inches long, so that kind of moved your tank forward. But you asked us to get this back as far as we can, so that's what we did. We went with the 24-inch long flex connectors, and you can see it just worked out just perfect. Any further back, that flex connector wouldn't even work. Your old tank did not have expansion tank. We gave you an expansion tank. We also used brass components. Your old tank had galvanized components. Galvanized pipe is steel, iron, ferrous metal, so the iron inside the water builds iron deposits inside there and makes your water rusty and cause leaks. So we give you brass, non-corrosive, non-ferrous. Give you the expansion tank. Again, we went over that. Part of your yearly maintenance is to make sure that this air balloon, this should never be full of water. There's no weight on this at all. There's a Schrader valve right here, and inside the tank, that Schrader valve is connected to just a rubber balloon. So once a year, just hit the Schrader valve, the top Schrader valve, the same valve that's on your bicycle or car tire. Oh, my nail's getting a little soft. So that's full of air.
What fills it full of air?
A pump. Yep. So they come pre-charged.
I see.
But one of these years, you're going to hit that, and water's going to come out at you. And it's not that it's losing air; it's going to be popped. You're on a City's Tacoma water system that they do chlorinate their water, and chlorine does attack rubber. It's about 3 to 5 years. This is going to be your first component that's just not helping you anymore. It's not going to leak. It's not going to leak. It's a pressure vessel, but it's not going to be doing its job anymore either. And what happens is that rubber sits in there, and now the water is on the inside, on the other side of that rubber, which isn't good, just sitting there being stagnant. You don't want water in here, because that water can just sit there and get nasty inside this tank, and every once in a while get out and discolor your water. So yeah, one of these years, you're going 3 to 5 years, that's going to be water that comes out at you, and we just need to get it replaced.
Okay.
That is a code requirement. We could not, I have to put that in the system. I can't leave it out. A lot of people want me to leave it out because they're like, oh no, our water system is open. It's in communication with the entire city's main, right? So then technically you wouldn't need that, because if there wasn't any expansion here, that extra expansion would just work itself out back into the main, right? But water systems, as the infrastructure grows, new water systems and meters, they have check valves on them now, because they don't want whatever the homeowner might be doing in here, hydroponics, whatever homeowners do, they don't want that to get back out and contaminate the neighbors in the system. So that's really important. Now, the most important thing on the hot water tank is not you getting hot water, but for you to be safe. And right at the top here, at the highest point, is your T&P temperature and pressure safety relief valve. This has springs in there that reads the pressure, and it has a probe in there that reads the temperature. And this is designed to pop off, release the hot water out of the hot water tank if it reads one of two conditions: 150 psi or 210 degrees. Okay, so then if you ever hear this, pop, 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 that means this is seeing high pressure or high temperatures, and something's wrong. Something's wrong. So what you do is you just go to the electrical panel and turn it off.
Okay.
Yep, turn it off and hire a professional. We'll come out here and see what's going on.
Okay.
It could be a thermostat. Most likely it's going to be a thermostat that has failed, and it's not turning the element off. It's just leaving it on, and the water is overheating. Okay, so part of your yearly maintenance is just to turn this baby on and just let it blast for a little while. Maybe even toggle it a couple times to make sure that everything's working good there. It's running, it's turning off. That means that's in good working order and you're safe. You don't have to worry about anything.
And that's blowing it outside.
Yep, yep.
And when you say, how long do I leave it on?
Well, right now that's more than enough.
Oh, okay.
But I suppose, you know, as years go around, you may want to just
Okay.
let it run just for a minute. Just for
Okay.
a minute. Yeah. Not too long, just for a minute.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, you got earthquake straps. You previously had earthquake straps. They're in the right spots because we changed basically like for like, same height of the water heater. Didn't have to change the height. So you have one on the top third of the water heater, one on the bottom third of the water heater, so you're good. We also gave you a drip pan. You're on a slab-on grade, so we can't pipe that drip pan anywhere. But we did put in a drip pan, and we piped a 1-inch PVC line just outside next to the washing machine here. So if anything was to be leaking in here, you would drip down into that pan, into that PVC pipe, and out to where you have a chance to see it. In lieu of that not being there, and there is a leak, and the floor is graded to the back, a leak could be in the back, working itself under the walls and in floors and causing some serious damage. So we give you a drip pan, and that's also a code requirement. You're already on a foam pad, so we just left you on the foam pad. Let's see what else. Okay, setting the temperature on this hot water tank. Super cool. These are the newer ones. The older ones, you'd have to pull off a plate at the top, take a flathead screwdriver, be right by mainline power, and trying to be in there and adjusting your upper thermostat. Then you'd have to do the same thing for the lower thermostat. No more. So here is your temperature setting right here. Just arrow down or arrow up. So arrow all the way down is 110. There's 110. And it goes in 10-degree increments. 120, 130, 140, 150, and the most this thing will make is 155. That's 155.
So I wanted that.
120. Your other one was most likely set at 120. I didn't take the plates off, but 120 is darn hot.
Is it?
Darn hot.
Okay.
So we're going to go all the way back. So there's 110. There's 120.
Okay.
So just 10-degree increments and go all the way back and just build yourself up. Just notice 10-degree increments. The hottest I would say without putting a mixing valve on this thing would be 140. Some people keep their tanks at 140 because bacteria can't grow past 138 degrees. So their idea is, well, we don't use a lot of water and we just want it nice and hot over here just to kill any kind of bacteria that might be in the water or might form. That's some people's thoughts. Okay, but really it's probably better just to stay safe at 120 and not have the chance of scalding.
Okay.
People scalding themselves, and I haven't heard of much issues with bacteria with people having their tanks at 120. That's just a safe temperature.
Okay.
The drain valve down below, once a year, put the hose on it just like you saw us do it. We put our hose on it, we run it outside, we drain it. That's what we want you to do once a year is put your hose on it, run outside. That's quarter turn, so that's a brass drain valve down there, and it's quarter turn. So you put your flathead screwdriver on and you just go 1/4, and that's full blast. So there's off, there's on, full blast. It's just a ball valve in there that you're just moving.
Do I drain the whole tank?
No, live flush. So put your hose on there and just go live flush, because what we're trying to do is flush out the bottom. So,
Okay.
and just let it go, 2, 3, 4 minutes. That's all you're doing, because you're keeping up with it yearly. So just quarter turn, let it blast 3 minutes. Come in here, turn it off, rope your hose.
Okay.
You're good to go.